What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a while. We're actually putting into port at Polythreme today, the taciturn claymen. We'll gather our intelligence very, very quickly. Who knew that automated statues could have so much intelligence? And then from there, we can take shore leave. I wouldn't recommend it. Probably wouldn't recommend taking claymen to London either. It's a good way to make a little bit of money. What do you do with this right here? We need a watchful curio in order to get an audience with the King of 100 Hearts. Okay. Do they have any shops right here that I could play around with? They got a casket of sapphires. They've got We Are Clay. It lowers your quarters by 3. Raises your irons. Our engine power goes up by quite a bit. And what is that going to cost me? 300? If you lose 3 from your quarters, that means you can only have 7 out of 10. 250 engine power, I think. Let me have a look at our engine real fast. So this gives us plus 800, and it goes into your auxiliary slot, is what I think it said. Let me go over to here very quickly. I apologize. I've got like this frog in my throat that is just fighting me right now. He's got his boxing gloves on and everything. He's throwing tight kicks. And I'm just like, ah! Got me right in my shin. This hurts. Oh, my tummy. Why would you kick me there? That's not a nice thing to do. And so that would give us an extra 250, which means we would gain quite a bit of speed from it. It is going to use up a cargo slot, though. And that disappoints me. We'll take it. We'll take it for right now. I like to play around with new things. And so we've got 6 guys right now. It doesn't cost us anything to do that. And so in our auxiliary slot, we'll have 250 engine power. Now we have 58 irons. So it also brought up our combat capabilities. So that's pretty awesome. Is there anything else that we can do here? We could take shore leave, but I wouldn't recommend it. Polythreme is not a good place to lose terror. It's hard to do when your cup is screaming at you and pleading for you not to drink from its skull. And so anyways, I think we should probably do our best to find the Chelinet while we're out here, since that's going to be a dead-end mission for us. Where did we need to drop off? Do we have the Blind Bruiser right now? Do we have anything from him? Or are we on shore leave from his particular quest? We got a romance. The Principality looks okay. Oh, he wants me to go to Khan's Heart. Okay, so we can do that. That's actually, I know exactly where that's at, so that's not going to be that big of a deal. I was worried that maybe we had to go out to the Chelinet in order to get that done. And so, let's go to Godfall very, very quickly. We'll grab ourselves a port report from here. There we go. I don't think they have any shops here. Once we've got their port report, we need to decide... I always clicked the wrong thing right there. What's the best way to get back to... Well... I think... I wish I knew where the Chelinet was at. That's the thing that I'm concerned about right now, is I have no idea where the Chelinet's at, but if we can lock that down, we can get ourselves another one of those combined things out of the strategic information and the moves in the great game. We can turn that into a very useful turn-in. Now, I figured out what happens. So, for example, there's 2 people that you can turn in that item to. The first is the Admiral, the second is the Spy. If you turn into the Spy, you get more money, but there's a downside to that. It kind of like advances an internal ticker on the inside of the game that leads towards Armageddon, essentially. So just be aware that that extra money will cost you something eventually. I don't feel like our engines are that much faster right now, but I guess I just have to assume that they are. What is this? We're getting outside my range of expertise right now, so we may come across things that I've never seen before. We've got the Ash Isthmus. Okay. I always wanted to go to Christmas on the Isthmus. I always thought that that would be a very entertaining thing, simply because it rhymes. And how many things can you rhyme with Isthmus? I guess if you could go Smith's Must, maybe. But even that seems to be a little bit on the edge. Is there nothing here? Because I see houses and all kinds of other things. What the hell is that? Oh shit, a glorious dreadnought? Oh hell no. Nah, I ain't playing with that. Let's get up out of here. That thing glows. It's got paladin powers. I am not down for that adventure. Please tell me I can sail underneath this right here. If I can, it would be fantastic. What is this? Stanton. Port Stanton. This is a new location, so I don't know what awaits us here. It looks like they're building some kind of dirigible on the southern island. Yeah, it looks like a blimp or something. Either they're deconstructing it or they're constructing it. Is that the edge of the map right there? It is, so we hit the edge of the map. Alright. That glorious thing over there, I don't want to fight with it at all. It looks like the sort of thing that would, like, focus the powers of Jesus at you and just rip your ship open from the side. In the name and by the power of her enduring majesty, a trade embargo and quarantine, an absolute perpetuity has been hereby declared on the Empire of Hands. No ship of London is to permit aboard a Pentecost ape without express or prior permission of the Admiralty. Any and all acts of spirifage are prohibited. They know what they did. Beware of stowaways. Keep a tight grip on your soul. Excerpt from the Standard Naval Regulations, Volume 4. With the regulations in mind, it's a surprise to be greeted by a mere itchy monkey in a tattered yellow robe, barely walking with the help of a ceremonial staff. "Hello," cries the mayor in the broken voice of one not yet used to human speech. "Come, make selves at home. All souls welcome in bountiful Empire of Hands." The crew shifts uncomfortably. They know the stories. It will take more than the natural beauty of this place to make most of them risk shore leave here. So, the apes watch you hungrily. Soul-hungry monkeys reluctantly tend this trading post while waiting for an opportunity to escape. I guess we'll go here. We can take shore leave. We can be soulless. Oh my god, that would suck. Okay, so soul-hungry monkeys reluctantly tend the trading post, waiting for an opportunity to escape. Bloated fleas hop from ape to man and man to ape, gorging themselves without a care for which is which. That sucks. I've been bitten by fleas before, and they leave like this little bump that's bright red, and it's so intensely itchy. Like, compared to a mosquito bite, which is kind of like a dull itch because it partially numbs it as well, a bite from a flea is just, it's so intense. It's got a little bit of pain to it, too. An audience with a flea-ridden mayor. He's not busy. No appointments are required. Monkey business no more than 9. Alright, well, we can do intense work is underway across there. We can prepare to do a comprehensive... Oh, we have to actually explore the isthmus. Okay, so let's sail the Empire of Hands, I guess. We can go to Sovereign Island. A wooden palace stretches across the whole island, passage of it lit by a field of tiny glimbuoys. Many boats circle the island, all keeping their distance. The one that gets closest is an extended rowboat painted in yellows, whites, and reds. 4 servant monkeys strain all the oars while its true passenger sits in comfort behind a gauze curtain. Just for a moment an eye catches yours, but only for a moment. It would not do for a high-souled ape to see anything so beneath its notice. That or they might try and seduce us, and I don't know. Is that perfect? If we go back to London, I feel like people would be grumpy about it. They'd be like, you know, you slept with one of the monkeys that's over in Port Stanton. I'd be like, whoa, why did you just assume that I slept with it? We had a glance, we had a moment, but I didn't do like anything along the lines of what you got for Planets of the Ape. Like, I didn't like Planets of the Ape, the singular ape. There was only one ape on that planet. Planet of the Apes. There we go. I'll pluralize properly. Back to the boat. And can you sail more? Neither man nor ape claims this volcanic remnant between islands, haunted, they say. Ridiculous. The trip offers a little time to think on the penties. Technically, they are monkeys rather than apes, but it's not tactful to remind them of this. To their high-soul faces, the accepted name is Pentecost apes. In private, though, the bitchy monkeys is about just as common. It is, one might say, an ad hominoid insult. Wit and vigor. Anyways, we'll enter the forest. Apparent synthetic vegetation thrives in the Empire of Hands' fertile soil and cool humidity. Wide, natural paths run between clumps of trees, softly lit by a dim green glow and the occasional glimmer of false stars through the canopy. Only the cracking of leaves and the soothing sounds of the water break the serenity of the volcano-forged paradise. We've got relax in a hot spring. We can do that too. So what do we need to make a port report? That one's high risk. Hunt for supplies. Oh, you can hunt for supplies? Really? That's kind of cool. Relax in a hot spring. I like hot springs. It's best to be nude in hot springs. That's my favorite thing. Go skinny dipping in a hot spring. I've done it a couple times. Steam and a hint of sulfur gently rise from a secluded natural pool flanked by trees and mushrooms. You slip out of your itchy clothes and into the welcoming caress of hot, deep water. The salts and sweats of sailing life melt away as you simply float, bare and free. Above, fall stars glimmer, bright enough to be worth wishing on. All around, the glow of trees cast ambient calm on the silent peace. How long has it been since you had a moment like this? Since London? Longer? We lost 5 terror. That'll be nice because we got to go all the way home. What is the likely lass doing right now? Are you on her mind like she's on yours? I've never seen that before. Let's go for it. Oh, the noise, the passion, the delightful filth, the hot water hugs you tight as you remember her touch, your last words before departing, that half mile almost, but not quite blossoming into completeness. How long will it be before you feel the touch of skin on skin once again? Are awake to see her sleeping brow always so furrowed, as soft and calm as the Z itself. Wait, what was that? It sounded like giggling? Yeah, that's probably because you're floating yourself a buoy right now in the water, thinking about dirty stuff while you're out there naked with the rest of your crew, giving the wrong impression. A tiny blonde girl perches watching on a rock. Her innocent grin is spiced with mischievous glee. She moves like a monkey, but she giggles like an imp at the look of your face at being caught bathing in her hot spring and the one that floods onto it as she scoops up your clothes. Aw, man. Shipwrecked as a baby raised by Empire of Hands, she now plays between the worlds of apes and men. Neither quite one or entirely the other. Demand that she put those down at once. Or we can go for a desperate swim. A quest for dignity. Ugh. I don't think that threatening her is going to make it any better. It's probably going to make it more fun, because when I knew I was going to get in trouble as a kid, it made the situation all the more tempting. Let's go for a desperate swim, I guess. She waits grinning innocently until you emerge from the hot spring with nothing but your strategically placed hands for modesty. Before you can get close enough, though, she bolts from her crouched position and into the forest on all fours, a scampering run that turns every rock and fallen tree into a springboard. Chase the monkey founding, or we can fly upon them, let them stare, let their tongues volunteer them for a whipping. I suppose I don't want to chase a little girl naked through the forest. I think we're giving the wrong impression right now. I mean, what if just like a rogue police officer was to show up and I'm going to be like, she stole my clothing. And he'd be like, she stole your clothing. Sir, I'm going to need you to put your hands. Sir, I'm going to need you to get on the ground, put your hands behind your head. I'd be like, no, officer, she stole my clothes. And I'd be like, sir, stop resisting. Nightstick, nightstick. Ah, stop resisting. Let's go ahead and, I guess, chase a naked. I'm going to nakedly chase a child through the forest. I could finish this sentence. There we go. The branches scrape against your skin, the damp mud squidges between your toes. There's no sign of the monkey foundling, but her tracks are easily followed. I guess we'll go. Enough of this nonsense. We can go back. It's probably smarter to go back. The footprints lead here. She's not even attempted to hide them. It's as if she wants you to fall. It's a booby trap. It's gotta be a booby trap, but I want to find out. Your hand slaps to your stinging buttock. The little stone lands in the dirt as a familiar giggle comes from above. You look to see the monkey foundling dangling upside down from a branch by her legs, a blowpipe in hand and bag just out of your reach, tantalizingly so. Taking a deep breath, you politely, very politely, request that she return your damned clothes now. The monkey foundling listens, gives it some thought, tagging your blowpipe against her lips as she decides. Say please, she grins. Please. Pretty please? An occurrence your Empire of Hands quest for dignity is now for. We could put an imaginary cherry on top if she likes. Or we can do a rough challenge. Really, with our irons that high, it's difficult to get her with a rock. She must be quick. Pretty, please, she adds, stifling a giggle. Pretty, please. Damn it, it's freezing. How much longer? We could just keep begging. You appear to have pretty pleased her as she decides you deserve a reward. She fishes in her bag and generously throws you a sock. A single, solitary sock. She learns a few new swear words as she races off across the branches, near doubled up with laughter. Let's just go back. A shameful return. Your crew is incapable of holding back its glee as you return from the Ash Isthmus with nothing but the dignity of your two hands can muster and a newfound understanding of how difficult it is to form even perfunctory clothing out of leaves and vine. If there is a bonus, it's that the smirks and jokes of the next few days do more to take the edge off Zailing than a bottle of Morroway's finest. It'll be a good while yet, though, before it is your authority that first springs to mind when they see you giving orders. Alright, so let's go back to Port Stanton. We're still missing things. So we need Hearthsake Island. So we'll go to Fountainhead Island. Ancient secrets peek out of the trees. Any may visit, but few penties ever bother to make the pilgrimage. The Empire of Hands is hardly as old as they pretend, but the mimicry and theft infuses their whole culture. If the penties have come to think that rulers should be buried in ancient temples, then it is ancient temples they will build. It could hardly be the first time their attempts to mirror humanity have entirely missed the point. We can go to a temple in the forest. We can go for a treasure hunt. Or we can return to the boat. It stretches through the forest in a mix of stone and wood, its style at the mercy of the Pentecost ape's current whimsies and inspirations. It would take a dedicated team to break in and uncover its secrets. Perhaps you can bring one here later. Alright, return to the boat real fast, and so that's going to be our scouting. And then we have Hearthsake Island. A thin pillar of greasy yet appetizing smoke rises from the only human settlement in the Empire. The Admiralty has never stated precisely why it seeks to keep the Empire confined, though most opposition to it fades once opposers actually encounter a Pentecost ape. They have been easy to corral, however. Though they do not lack wit, there is not an inventive bone in their hairy bodies, and no amount of stolen humanity has taught them the art of creating engines. We can go for a lost treasure hunter, or we can approach a village. Let's get the treasure hunter. He wipes his brow. Have you seen a big X on the ground by any chance? I got these 4 map pieces that got me this far and said X would mark the spot, but I can't find an X anywhere. He looks at the map sadly. It should be here, but where am I supposed to dig? He's too busy to talk right now, but adds that he'll be in the village later if you wanted to trade adventuring supplies. Don't try the meatballs, he warns, getting back to his search. You just don't want to do that. Alright, we'll approach the village. Sorry about that, booms the boisterous pirate, lowering a smoking blunderbuss as bits of shattered tree rain down. New arrival, are we? Well, if you haven't got a tail, you're all right by me. He squints momentarily suspicious. You don't have a tail, do you? Wouldn't put it past the thieving little buggers to go shaving one of their own. Wouldn't know fair play if it kicked him right up in the ass. The voice is louder than his blunderbuss. The congealed meat juices in his thick beard are better not considered. Ew. Gnarly. No, we don't have any Goku action going on right now. They seem a friendly sort and are shocked at the idea that they would ever be such poor hosts as to eat a guest, but then they have no shortage of supplies. The Z is quiet. The journey is pleasantly uneventful. They have not been eaten by cannibal pirates. All things considered, a successful trip. Alright, exploration's complete. Few have reason to brave the waters this far east, especially with the trade embargo. The Admiralty will pay especially well for up-to-date intelligence. And so there it is. We got 100 fragments for doing that. All of them warrant further attention. For now, though, it would be best to see if your initial discoveries can whet the interest of anybody back home. Even if it can't wet it, maybe just damp it a little bit, or maybe just put a couple of driplets on it, like when you have dry cloth and you're like drip, 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 and it gets a little bit darker. At least that would be something. Maybe we'll get paid for this too. That's all that I care about right now. If we go to Port Stanton, it looks like we can go with the Mare. We can go to the Zeppelin. I kind of just want to keep exploring. We'll start hitting these islands one by one once we accomplish something. But for now, I just want to make sure that we're earning cash and like finding other corners of the map that we've never seen before. Let's fire out a bat very, very quickly. We got the Empire of Hands to the north. On this side, we've got Tory Point, which seems to imply that perhaps there's a Whig point around somewhere. I don't think that's how Tory is spelled, though, is it? I think it's T-O-R-Y instead. Either way, the joke is already made. Tory Point. Is there anything over here other than a bunch of crates on a beach? I guess not. Some people like to just stack crates places. I don't judge. I like stacking things. It's fun. Matching all the colors, getting everything organized. Everybody loves that, right? Or is that just me? Like when I used to have Legos as a kid, like the things that I would make, I really disliked it if the color scheme didn't match, or if it wasn't like all different shades of like red or yellow or whatever. It had to have a motif, and if it didn't, I hated the way my creation looked. I don't know if that bothered other people, but it always bothered me. Let's fire out a bat very, very quickly. A row of watchful Z-bats hang from the cable. Their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. It's weird that their heads are still moving because we hanged them. Although, what crime could a bat have committed to cause us to hang it? Ooh, they got good music here. Get down. Yeah. Break it on down. What? Cobb's Way bass, son. Got like a little jig going on. What's in here? Something bad's gonna happen. That building looks beat up. Places with beat up buildings lead to Scooby-Doo-like adventures. Sun! A great beam of sunlight bathes the island. Squint into the dazzle far above, and there's a hole in the roof. In that light, you see beaches of white gold. Sand, trees heavy with bright fruit, the red hues of greens of the surface. We can investigate ruins. We can gather supplies. We can go beachcombing. We can compile a port report. Let's do that. Right fast, the light scars. Okay, so we have that. Your eyes water, the pages blur. The report is one of joy-filled complaint. Estival has a beauty too bright to be appreciated, but perhaps the Admiralty can find something of use. So what do we want to do? I bet we only get one action here. I don't know if I want to... How are our supplies looking? We got 12 and 12. I think supplies are fine. Can investigate ruins. Let's go. There was some sort of installation here in what looks like a handsome country house. Who was here, and what happened to them? A garden overgrown with berry bushes, a wooden trestle table set for a meal, chairs strewn with bones, a half-dozen skeletons, a red-breasted bird perches on a grinning cranium. It cocks an eye at you and bursts into song. Better an eye than a gun, I guess. A liquid thrilling sound. It seems unperturbed as you approach to poke through the bones. No signs of violence, no fire, bullets, or bites. These people died peacefully, sitting down to breakfast as the surface sunlight spilled over them. Sunlight can kill at any time. The longer you remain here, the more danger you're in. So why did they stay? Perhaps they stayed because Estival is as beautiful as anywhere in the Neath and 10 times as generous. It's a fine place for a colony. You could found your own pocket kingdom if you could do something about the sun. But what? What has power over sunlight? What makes the impossible possible? So bring something to Estival that could protect against sunlight. So like sunscreen. We can go beachcombing. Comb the beach! Taking a stroll along the beach. Perhaps the Z has brought you something. Oh, this is the same thing that you have over at the Shepherd's Isle. Let's go after something glinting. But there's a message in the bottle, a page from a journal. The writer has described a debauched afternoon in thrilling detail. Who threw this into the sea? Was it some botched attempt at blackmail or a love affair gone sour? We gained 80 fragments, which is quite a lot, actually. And then we could gather supplies if... Okay, so stories await when you next make port. We gotta go back. Is there anything around here? Oh, we got the secret. Okay, even better. Good, good, good. Is there anything else around here? Looks like we've got an island down to our southwest. Let's go investigate that very, very quickly. Where are we with regards to the map right now? We're lined up with Khan's Glory. Good, so we're getting some exploration done while at the same time heading back towards a location we need to be at. Looks kind of like a turtle that's been squinched around the middle. Like if you took a turtle and you were like, "Rah!" Like in a cartoon and it was like, squeaky! And it squeaked inwards. Like that would be the spot where you squeezed if it was getting into cartoon shenanigans. I don't know, these are the things that I think about. The Atzaquaric Abyss. Now that's a word right there. Break that one out at the company dinner. I find this situation to be atzaquaric. I find this wine to be atzaquaric. Is it azaquaric or atzaquaric? I don't know how to say that word because I've never seen it. It might be quaric, too. I don't know. The inflection of words is weird. All I have to do to show that is with, like, shoe and show. Maybe those aren't the words that I'm looking for. There we go. Ho and shoe. Why is one pronounced ho? Why is the other pronounced shoe? It's a weird thing. I knew I would get an example eventually. I just had to think of it. Sometimes it takes my mind a little bit of time to get it all together. The Finkel Knot Vortex. I don't care much about that. Scuttering and chittering in the corners of the hold. Humped shapes on the deck rail. Ratsy air emboldens the vermin. There's a joke there somewhere. I don't know if I want to go after Ratus Faber right now. I don't think their ships are very strong. As I recall, rat barges do have guns on them, and our hull is low enough to where I'm worried about any sort of conflict. And so I may just try and keep us low to the sea and just move away. Is there anything around here, out of curiosity? Looks like we've got Visage or Visage to the south. Let's go ahead and go down. Visage sounds like more fun. Giggity. Cruise on down this way, and once we uncover this, I think it'll be a great spot for us to break off the episode. So what is this right here? The Flourishing of Years, Capala Cove. You've gained a secret. Okay, so that'll be nice. What is this? Like a freaky alien face over here. There's so many new things in the game right now that we're coming across that I'm really having a blast playing. Like, I was scheduled to record something else today, and I was like, you know what, I just feel like playing Sunless Sea right now. I haven't played in a couple of days, and you can't have multiple save files without backing them up and moving them around. And so I was like, I want to play right now. And so that's what I did. Yay, self-employment. Alright, so welcome to, I guess, Capala Cove. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Hi-do, everybody. Did I make a joke about the humped rails? Never mind. We'll talk about it later. Bye!